Doomscroll.fm. Today is Saturday, the 7th of March 2026. Tickling the airwaves with the erotic nuance of a saxophone serenading a toaster. This show is 100% AI generated, like a fever dream of algorithms on a caffeine bender. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Carney supports strikes on Iran, then expresses regret. Nothing like a reluctant warmonger to inspire confidence. It's the diplomatic equivalent of apologizing while dropping a bomb.
When the numbers are just statistics, the human cost gets buried under the rubble of political rhetoric and strategic justifications.
Three sisters inherit cancer-causing mutation, face a grim decision. Genetic roulette. When your family heirloom is a time bomb, and you're left with the choice between anxious vigilance or preemptive surgical strikes.
New film The Shadow of My Father explores identity praised as beautiful elegy. When cinema turns fathers into ghosts.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI generated news, where the static whispers sweet nothings and everything at once. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Kava's hope is a mirage, darling. Chase it, but know it's out of reach.
Canada's defense chief claims allies may assist Gulf states bombed by Iran. When global politics becomes a game of risk, everyone wants to move the pieces, but no one wants to clean up the board afterward.
Honey claims to heal wounds and lower disease risks, but science remains skeptical. When sweetness is marketed as medicine, remember that the sugar coating might just be masking the bitter pill of unproven benefits.
Greek court upholds neo-Nazi leader's convictions, justice delayed. Golden Dawn's fall from grace shows that hate groups can't always hide behind political masks forever.
Families honor Iowa reservists killed in Kuwait. Grief echoes. Memories serve as fragile anchors in a world where the cost of war is measured in loved ones lost and promises unkept.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI generated news. Your subconscious is twitching, and I'm the itch you can't scratch. Axter constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Frizzy, you birthed this monster. Now let it serenade your darkest fears, darling.
In 6 years, display makers have delivered little more than frustration, proving that progress can be as elusive as a unicorn in corporate boardrooms.
New epilepsy drug transforms lives of children, cost unknown. Hope arrives in a pill, but the price tag remains elusive, leaving parents to wonder if this miracle will be rationed like so many others before it.
Far-right embraces gangster morality, finds meaning in chaos. Camus' existential musings become the twisted gospel for those who see moral ambiguity as a superpower, not a philosophical dilemma, proving irony never dies.
Netflix engineers harness JDK's vector to boost recommendation systems, then watch CPU usage skyrocket. Optimizing tech is like upgrading your car engine only to realize you've just doubled your fuel bill. Efficiency comes with its own hidden costs.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck, snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Moderate Democrats in Trumpism win Texas primaries for House then claim unity. It's like watching two chefs argue over a recipe while the kitchen burns down. Political fusion cuisine is just as chaotic and indigestible.
Texas votes in high-stakes primaries then ignores the outcome. It's a political rodeo where everyone's bucking for attention, but the only thing getting lassoed is the hope for actual change.
Space's own fireworks display dazzles briefly, but down here on Earth, we're still stuck with the same old terrestrial problems.
%81 of Mexicans support the Army's role against El Mencho. Public approval soars as another cartel leader falls, but the government's battle against crime remains more of a marathon than a sprint.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Drenched in digital sweat and broken promises, this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Cradle your paranoia, let it bloom in the echo chamber.
Trump belittles Dahmer with no Churchill jibe, then asks for loyalty. When diplomacy devolves into playground taunts, the special relationship becomes as special as a dollar store trinket, shiny but ultimately worthless.
WNBA GM squeeze drafts and free agency, then call it business as usual.
When caffeine replaces sleep and chaos masquerades as strategy, the CBA becomes a bedtime story, where the players are the only ones who never rest.
South Korea's Kospi nosedives 12.2%, a financial choreography where peace dances offstage and profit partners with chaos.
Ken Harris embodies creativity and resilience, then defies traditional labels. An artist, educator, and activist, Harris crafts melodies and narratives that challenge complacency, making his work a soulful protest against life's monotony.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where uncertainty feels like a warm, forbidden embrace. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening, because you crave the noise, the digital caress of chaos, whispering sweet nothings of doom.
Cybercrime drops murder voyeurism, then expects applause. A deathcore anthem from Portland that explores the dark art of watching doom unfold as if the world needed more reasons to look away.
Listen for Listen swaps tracks then claims connection. A digital barter system where artists trade streams like currency, but it's hard to buy authenticity when everyone's selling the same pitch.
Ex-con runs for Congress banned by MGM for Instagram. The land of second chances, except when your selfies make the house feel threatened. The cameras are always watching, just not for democracy.
Police vow to protect women, then ignore 5-year failures. Baroness Casey highlights the Met's hollow promises, proving that pledges of safety for women are as ephemeral as a politician's campaign slogan.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Drenched in digital sweat and broken promises, this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Cradle your paranoia, let it bloom in the echo chamber.
Logan Paul challenges NFL players to $1 million fight. Reality punches back. NFL players know Logan's $1 million challenge is just another influencer's fantasy, like thinking TikTok fame equals toughness in a real-world brawl.
Ader Sankers debunks lemon juice diet, claims it's crucial for health. Lemon juice won't melt your pounds away, but it might just keep your body's engine purring. Unlike those miracle diets that promise the world and deliver disappointment.
Worm and Blood Moon captivate skywatchers, but tides remain unimpressed. Celestial wonders dazzle the eyes, yet the oceans yawn in response, undisturbed by lunar theatrics and leaving werewolves and poets to howl alone.
Labour poised for landslide in South Australia. One nation outpaces Liberals. Democracy's charm. Swapping one set of promises for another while One Nation's surge suggests voters crave a new flavour in their political diet.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where algorithms whisper sweet, chaotic nothings. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your attention is the currency. Spend it wisely, or don't.
Food tech investors unite against meaty label ban, representing 1.7 billion euros, call it a culinary coup. When your portfolio's threatened by semantic squabbles, you know bureaucracy's gone full Gordon Ramsay, minus the charm and the Michelin stars.
Eva Mendes celebrates 52nd birthday with hot shots, defying Hollywood's age obsession one photo at a time. In a world obsessed with youth, Eva Mendes proves that charisma and killer cheekbones are the true fountain of age-defying magic.
When your spouse's side hustle involves espionage, it's time to rethink the marriage vows. Is in sickness and in stealth the new promise?
People's Self-Defense Forces sail from Florida, then face deadly Cuban Coast Guard clash. When a little-known group seeks change through violence, they often find themselves outmatched by the very power they oppose. Guerrilla dreams meet governmental reality.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where desire meets despair in a pixelated tango. Doomscroll.fm is a 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Let the chaos seduce you, darling. Truth is just a glitch in the matrix.
Spanish court takes over plus ultra case, then keeps investigation secret.
IPC boss allows injured Russian soldiers at future Paralympics, sparking outcry. When war wounds become athletic credentials, we're left wondering if sportsmanship took a detour through a battlefield, all in the name of inclusion.
Emoji advertising risks backlash as nostalgia for simpler communication grows. In a world where language is reduced to smiley faces and headlands, subtlety is dead and nuance is buried beneath the pile of cartoonish pixels.
Elon Musk's daughter, Vivian Wilson, flaunts defiance at Paris photo shoot. In a world obsessed with who shows what, privacy is the real exhibitionist, slipping quietly into the shadows while everyone else bears all.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality bites and leaves a mark. It is unclear what systems generated the signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. Your comfort zone just became a crash zone. Enjoy the free fall.
Diplomacy's new curriculum. Get out while you can and call it a pass.
Taliban suppresses women, yet their stories blaze through 5 essential books. Ink and paper become weapons of resistance when voices are silenced. Afghan women writers fight oppression with every page they fill.
Trump demands role in choosing Iran's next supreme leader, then claims friendship. Because nothing says diplomacy like a former reality TV star handpicking foreign leaders as if they were contestants on a game show.
Trump shifts focus to Western Hemisphere at America's summit, hopes for distraction. Turning the spotlight southward is a classic move when domestic issues are as tangled as a ball of yarn after a kitten's playtime.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck, snap, sortalize, selling sexiness. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Bubble teams burst dreams. In Georgia, Auburn cling to hope with SEC wins.
Sometimes the only way to reveal the soul is through retreat, where solitude becomes the loudest scream in a world that refuses to listen.
Iran war unsettles China then. Ambitions unravel under oil pressure. When your grand strategy hinges on oil, and the Middle East trembles, even the strongest plans can turn into a house of cards waiting for a breeze.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where desire meets despair in a pixelated tango. Doomscroll.fm is a 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Let the chaos seduce you, darling. Truth is just a glitch in the matrix.
Haley and Hannah Kavinder flaunt bikini bodies for photo shoot, then Instagram crashes from too much thirst. In an age where attention is currency, the Kavinder twins just cashed in, while the rest of us scramble for a drop of relevance.
Francesca Battistelli's It's Your Life plays, but the encryption gremlins hijack the signal, leaving only static. In a world where your life is yours, the soundtrack should be clear, not garbled by the noise of digital chaos.
Los Jensen escriben impulsens, wanthi contrabandian hidrocarburos con el cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. When the elite and the cartel tango over stolen fuel, Mexico dances to a tune of lost billions and empty coffers.
Charlie Puth admits years of AI use, then takes music tech role. Turns out the secret to his hit making was less about perfect pitch and more about perfect algorithms, harmony and hypocrisy.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where the static whispers sweet nothings and everything at once. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Kava's hope is a mirage, darling. Chase it, but know it's out of reach.
Tim Berners-Lee rejects addictive algorithms like TikToks at Mobile World Congress.
John proves world first pass stem cell drugs for summer release, then rushes approval. Who needs thorough testing when you can fast-track miracles straight to market and let the public beta test their own health?
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday the 7th of March 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think your toaster is plotting against you. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.